This is XY Spark, restoring holistic, healthy masculinity.
Hey, welcome. How are you guys doing? This is your boy Rolando.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another week.
We're here, guys. I hope
Yes,
you guys
we
are ready for us to have a lively conversation tonight. I hope you guys are ready for us to take it to the next level.
Right.
We want to continue to welcome you to our live podcast. All right. This is a father-son duo. We have Rolando Senior and
I'm Rolando Harmon Jr.
Rolando Jr.
If you guys are following, you probably know by now.
Okay. We want to say welcome to all those who are joining us live on Facebook, live on LinkedIn, and also our viewers on Twitch. What's our topic tonight, Nando?
Well, our topic tonight is what does it mean to you to be a man in 2023? So now this is your view, what's your opinion of what you think, it is for you as a man.
Yeah. Yes. And for any viewers we have that are females, how do you think they could contribute to this conversation, Nando? Because they may say, well, I'm not a man, so I'm out of here.
What can I do as a female to make my partner a better man in 2023? What can I contribute?
So how can I to make my partner healthier in 2023? So ladies, if you're out there watching, you have a part to play. I want to welcome those who are joining us live on Instagram as well. We can't forget our Instagram followers. We appreciate you. Shout out to you. I see a wave coming out there. So wherever you are joining us from, whether it's Twitch, and for those who are not familiar with what Twitch is, I wonder if you can tell the folks what Twitch is all about now.
It's for pretty much our American, I don't know if it's in Canada yet, but it's pretty much like a mainstream YouTube, but it has more attraction in terms of games, podcasts. It has more communicative styles of getting messages out there faster than YouTube, because YouTube's about streaming and videos and stuff.
Right.
So, you guys can look at us at Twitch, and then Twitch saved all of our podcasts as before. So, you guys could, check out our previous, topics and stuff and see the conversation and chime in on comments if you want.
100%. And what I'd like to say to you is, if you're joining us live, we would like you to just type a comment in the chat where you're joining us live from. You may be somewhere in Canada, whether it's Eastern, Western, or Central Canada. You may be in America. You may be in North Carolina. You may be in California. You may be down south in Florida. Wherever you are, you're shouting us from. We'd like to know. So just type it in the comment. You're joining us at Instagram. Say where you're from. Twitch, please. LinkedIn. We just want to know. So
we just want to know, right?
So listen. There's a huge generation gap here with our setting. I'm a Gen Xer, or setting. I'm a Gen Xer, and Rolando, he's a millennial, and so both of us are coming from a different perspective.
Right. We're getting the feedback. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what that was, but sorry. Continue. You can go ahead there.
So it's going to be important for us to have this conversation. I would like you to type in the chat as well. For you, if you're joining us live on Instagram or Twitch or Facebook, what does it mean to you to be a man in 2023? Because we have so many different understandings. Right now, men are dealing with a lot of different challenges. There's the feminism movement, yes?
Right.
Or there is also the issue as it relates to men who are struggling with addictions.
Right.
When you're struggling with mental health. men who are struggling with their identity, men who are struggling in unhealthy relationships, men who are
Especially
being
that.
impacted by domestic violence.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes?
Mm-hmm.
There are so many different things. So I would like to hear from you. What does it mean to you to be a man in 2023? And Nando, I don't know if you have anything that you want to jump in here to say.
Yeah, I could kick it off. I mean, if we ask them the question, because as fellow men ourselves, I'll shoot back the question at you later, Dara. What does it mean to you to be a man in 2023? Well, for me, a powerful leader is one thing. You have to be able to lead, especially if you have a family. A hard worker, you have to work hard. You can't be a man and you're lazy. You have to have respect. Make sure that you're respected, because if you give respect, you get respect. So there's certain attributes. There's no perfect man. I don't. I mean, only God, I think. But
Are you sure about that?
well, we all striving to be the perfect guy or that perfect person, but it's
Yeah.
a day-to-day process. It's a day in day out grind. And
Yeah.
one day you'll get to that pinnacle where you
Mm-hmm.
say you get it. But as for you, Dad, like, I mean, as I said, it's different generation. What is it like for you to be a man? Like, what are you seeing with your peers? Because your peers are different from my peers. So, like, what are you seeing? You know?
And I like the question because one of the things that a lot of Gen Xers struggle with is
Mhm.
we were properly molded by society and by the community.
Right.
So Gen Xers, what it means to be a man is to not show emotions, right? Uh, and just recently I was in a conversation and the piece that really popped out at me was in this person's world, they were taught that men don't show emotions, men don't cry.
We heard
Men,
that from someone too. Yeah.
yeah, you've got to man up.
Gotta man up, man. You gotta be
Yeah,
tough.
what's your problem? If you show emotion, you're weak, you're frail,
Right.
and it's so funny that there are women who make men feel that if they show any form of emotions or any weakness, well, he's just not attractive enough. He's just not the right kind of a man that she'd want to be with because her man needs to be strong and um her definition of strength is a man who is hiding behind all the facade. He's not
Real
showing any.
side, a real sidebar in that though.
Yeah.
I think if we as you said, ladies or some females let that happen to men, but my little take on that is real females, you know, won't let that happen to that person who they cherish as their partner or as their guy.
Mm.
A real
Mm-hmm.
female will say, "Hey, listen, it's okay to show emotions.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
okay to ask for help. It's okay
Yeah.
to come to me when you're feeling down or something is going through. Don't hide it because only a real partner can actually do that.
Yeah.
So I'm just piggybacking off where you said it is out there where females drive men, especially younger men, into a certain
Mhm.
stigma or a certain vibe, and you're like, man, I'm supposed to be tough. No, I'm not doing that. We have someone out here in the comments.
Yeah.
What's a real female?
What's a
So
real female? You said it, Nana. So I'm going to push you out there on that one.
I'm being honest with you. You see, I'm not a female, so I can't even really speak much on it. But I can't even say an ideal female. I don't know. I would love to. I love people in the chat to help me understand what is an ideal female. Like, what do you look for as a man to say, okay, yes,
Yeah.
that's
It's
that.
it's
Yeah,
it's a good question because you said it, a real female, and I guess we're opening up
a
a
can of
can
worms.
here that can become no. But here's what I would say to it, because if a question is asked, it is important to let us at least try to addressing.
Right.
Yeah, we don't know everything. We established that.
Yeah,
Yes,
we did
and
from day one.
but through the eye of a male, a real female is a woman who is able to allow their partners to be human,
Mm-hmm.
to express himself and not judge him and not let him feel like he's weak if he's asking for help or showing emotions, or if he's not matching up to the standards that her dad set. Yes, because a
Mm-hmm.
lot of times a man is not considered to be a real man because he's not meeting the standards that this female's dad set for
They
her.
say some females choose their husband based on their father, huh?
Base, yes.
I've heard that
So
before.
So a real female is someone who's able to balance that and understand that it's important to allow a man to express and feel feelings. Welcome to those who are joining us live on Instagram. I see we have some persons joining us here, I think. And we welcome your feedback. Or topic that we're discussing here is, what does it mean to you to be a man in 2023? And we're just responding to a question that was asked by one of our viewers live on Facebook. They
What's a
call
real female?
Nando said that a real female. I don't know why he said it, but he wanted to
Oh
engage in
man,
conversation. And I hope that response was okay to our the person that asked the question.
I love her viewers. I love her. I love her to answer as well. Like, give me her views on what it means to be a real female. As I said, we're here to all share and just learn all together.
Yeah,
We're all here
yeah.
to learn together. So
Yeah, let's learn from each other. So the
right.
person that asked the question, we're throwing it back at you. In your mind, what would you say is a real female? Because you asked the question, and the question was asked by, I think, a female viewer. So, and we welcome all our viewers, male or female. But the main topic that we're discussing tonight is, what does it mean to you to be a man in 2023? So as we continue our conversation, and so one of the things that I was saying earlier is, being a Gen Xer, there are several things that we struggle with as Gen Xers.
Mm.
Not showing emotions, not asking for help, not admitting any form of weakness or showing vulnerability. All these things are things that a lot of men who came out of that era as Gen Xers really, really tried hard to break out of. And it's something
Question
that,
though,
yeah.
do you think it's getting better or worse based on as time goes by? Do you see the trend of men kind of not expressing themselves as how they used to back then? Strong leaders, powerful leaders. Because our topic last week is, females are taking over some of our jobs because, the workforce, they need it for the workforce. So I'm just saying, like, what do you think? You think it's changing? Because if I'm to answer that, I think it changed a lot.
Okay, what have you seen? Tell us, what have you seen?
Based on knowing that my grandfather, who is of course way older generation than me, based on seeing how they used to do or what he used to do as a man, and looking now at and I'm like, I didn't even do half of that. Even for my own self, I don't even do none of that. I'm like, dang. Because I guess time and things are moving so fast, you don't even get time to do certain stuff, especially if you're a leader for your household. So I'm just saying, based on my observation, I think it changed a whole lot.
It definitely has evolved over time, for sure. We can't dispute that. But one of the things that you just said, Nando, is important, and you use the expression more than once, and you said it, being a leader. So how does a man lead now? What is expected of him? Because for a lot of men now, leading in the home means providing,
Right,
and
right, right, right,
that's it.
right.
You know, I'm providing for my family, so I'm leading.
You have to be all
So,
rounded. You have to be all rounded, man. Especially if you have kids, you have to be all
mhm,
rounded. It's not just only providing. You know, you
mhm,
have to make quality time for your family. You have to make you have to do. You have to do. You can't just say, "Oh, I pay the bills, so yeah, I'm the leader."
mm,
You know what happened to you know being a support system for your wife? What happened to being there for your kid, going to their games? Doing, you know, there's a lot of stuff that I say, you know, a strong leader, and even myself, I'm not gonna say, yeah, I'm a strong leader. There's a
mhm.
lot of stuff I'm slacking on myself. As I said, I'm not perfect.
Yeah.
I'm still learning myself. So it's always a big thing listening and reading and stuff like that. You hear most, you know, strong leaders in the homes
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
that's where it starts.
And one of the reality is I don't know if there's any man out there, myself included, who can boast that he is ticking all the boxes.
Some will, because remember again, what does it mean? Remember you said it. What does it mean to them for being a leader? It could be
Yeah,
like you know, doing the taking care of the overheads. Oh, I'm a big leader. I run things.
yeah, yeah. You know, one of the powerful things in Orlando that we can't overlook is that most of us as men, and here's a piece. Most of us as men, we learn our masculine qualities from our dads.
Right.
And if our dads are not around, we learn how to be a man from our moms. And if
Right.
our moms are not around, we learn how to be a man from our aunts or from a foster care, or we learn what a man is supposed to be like in the streets
Yeah.
with the gang that accepted us,
Right. Right. Right.
right?
They're teaching
Some,
you.
yeah, some of us as men, we learn how to be a man after we got incarcerated. You know, and we can't leave out those men who are incarcerated. A lot of men are incarcerated right now,
A
and
lot. Yeah.
a lot of them, when they went in, they were trying to find themselves, and when they came out, they still didn't find themselves. They lost their identity, and so they came out not sure, you know, what they really want or where they're going.
Mm-hmm.
So depending on what you were exposed to and how you were groomed, that's the idea that you have shut up in your mind about what it means to be a man.
Hmm.
So it's so important for all of us as men, whether you're joining us live on Instagram, on Twitch, on LinkedIn, or Facebook. It's so important for you to first pause and ask yourself that question: where did I learn?
How to be a man.
Yeah,
Yeah. Adapt it. It means a lot. Well, if you're smart, you know, some guys come out to be okay, even though they didn't have certain guidance from, you know, father in their homes or whatever. They, if you would know how to adapt and understand the principle of what you are,
yeah. But you
then
know, once upon a time, once upon a time, Nando, we had a lot of excuse why we are not doing it better.
mhm,
But now we're living in information age.
right.
So what's the excuse? There are so many classes we can go to. There are so many
You
in
just get
so
stuck in your old ways. There's no more excuse. You know, there's. I mean, if you want to change and be better, you can.
mhm,
Or even if you're in jail, you could
yeah.
still, you know, or prison. You know, you could be better if you want to change. That some men, you know, they're not making the choice to do that because they enjoy what's going on. They enjoy what they're doing. They feel
Mhm.
macho. You know, most men, because of their peers, they have to do certain or act certain ways because yeah, that's how you get ratings.
Yeah.
If you don't do that, you ain't getting no rating. So you got to
Mhm.
be, which is madness.
So if I'm hearing you correctly, a lot of us we try really hard to match up to the societal expectations about what it looks like to be a
Correct.
man, or
Correct.
we try to match up to the expectations of the crew
Correct.
of what it means to be a man, but we have not really digged deep to find ourselves.
Correct. Because we don't have time. We claim that we don't have time. Oh, I don't have time to watch a 30-minute motivational speech of bettering myself. What is 30 minutes?
It's a good question.
What is 30 minutes? There's a lot of stuff you can do to help yourself. Not even 30, 15 minutes every day. If you do the math, 7 days a week, that's towards you. But how many people are going to do that?
Now I'm going to go down a different road now.
Shoot it. Go ahead. That's why we're here.
Because this road is a road that we don't really explore a lot. But one of the places where I find there's a huge resistance rather, to challenge the way we function as men is in the church.
Hold on. Hold that thought.
Yeah?
We got another comment here.
Go ahead and read it.
Question was said, but do some men think there is an issue? Because if they don't, then there is no reason to dig for information or learn something new to adjust a life that they deem perfect. Exactly what I said. If they don't think it's an issue, they will not change or try to, stop from doing what they're doing. So just to agree with our listening here on Facebook, that pretty much it's just a good question. Do you want to change? Do you think what you're doing there is good for you, or do you think you should take a different path?
Yeah, it's a very good question. One of the things why change, one of the things why there's so much resistance to change, is that change is painful.
Right.
Change is so painful, man.
Right.
And a lot of us as men, we prefer to not endure that pain because change is uncomfortable. Change challenges us to break cycles and to move on, and to grow and even sometimes to start new chapters. So the idea behind it is recognizing that change is painful, but the lens that we look at change through makes a big difference, because we can see it as starting over, or we can see it as writing a new chapter.
What's your choice? Could never say it better. It's either starting over or writing a new chapter. There's so many chapters we can write in our life if we want. Some people just want to write one chapter.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
I don't know. But
comfort. Remember,
is it comfort though?
Yeah, comfort zone. If I'm comfortable, and here's why I say that, Nando. If I'm comfortable in an addictive behavior, why would I want to change it? Even if I know that it is destroying everything around me.
Deep down, you want to change it too.
Oh yeah. But
good question. I mean, why would I? You're right. I wouldn't want to change it either.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Why would I change it if I'm comfortable? Right? And so as men, we have got to be open to explore the fear that comes behind the thought of changing. Yes.
We're supposed to be men. We're not supposed to fear anything, right?
Oh, you're right.
We're men. We're not supposed to fear nothing. But we fear changes, though.
I like this. I like what you said, because it's the truth. We're not supposed to. But then, what's wrong if we do?
You get laughed at. I mean, everybody's afraid to be embarrassed. Everybody's afraid to, especially we as men, we're afraid for what someone will say, how they will look at you. But you're not looking towards the future. What are they going to say in the future when they look at you? You're focusing only now,
No, my question to that is, as it relates to embarrassment, what is that?
Whatever
Because
you make it to be, whatever you want to make to be embarrassment.
whatever you want, and I will agree with you because on this, because there are two things. Now, it's one thing if, let's say, because where I am, it gets cold and pathways get icy and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's one thing if you're walking, let's say you're walking to go into a mall and you slip and you fall.
Mm-hmm.
That's embarrassing,
Yeah, that is embarrassing.
right? It's another thing if, let's say, you're driving your car or whatever and you get a flat tire and you have to ask somebody for help.
That's not embarrassing. I don't think it is.
There are men who see that as, man, it's so embarrassing. I had to, and I think maybe we need to revisit our definition of embarrassment
Mm-hmm.
because there sometimes as men we tend to believe that I shouldn't be asking, I shouldn't be
Right.
going, I shouldn't be doing that. That's embarrassing because, as you said, I'm a man.
We're men. We're not supposed to ask or want. We're supposed to always have it figured out.
I don't want to be embarrassed.
Yeah, I'm gonna
I don't
ask
want to
you
tell
for this.
I want to tell my partner certain things because it's embarrassing.
But that's what I'm saying. The partner thing. The partner thing is kind of a sketchy topic, because
Why is it? Tell me.
I mean, if you're in a relationship, whatever you're in, and you're afraid to go to that person,
Mm-hmm.
then there's a problem already. I don't think our relationship should be even that far, because
Mm-hmm.
that should be on the money communication,
Mm-hmm.
and you should be allowed to express.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm saying. It's a tricky topic in that way. You know, our viewer on Facebook said because it's a man's job to do such things. Again, social expectations. Big word, social expectations. What
What's
is
a man?
expected of
What's a
you?
man's job? What is your job? And I'd like to hear from my viewers, whether you're joining us live on Instagram, or you're on Twitch or LinkedIn, or what's a man's job? And what defines a man's job in 2023? And that's why we're asking the question, what does it mean to you to be a man in 2023? Are
What
there certain things that you say, hey, as a man, I'll never do that? So I'd really like to get some feedback from, if we have any of our males out there, whether you're on Instagram or Twitch or LinkedIn, and if
what
you're
is
if you're a
expected?
woman out there and you're watching this, I'd like you to give us your feedback as it relates to what are those things that you consider to be an asset
Mm-hmm.
that you'll say, this is what for me defines a man in 2023. I'd like to hear from our, females, wherever you're joining us from. We'd love to hear from you. If you're a male, the question you're responding to, what does it mean to you to be a man in 2023? If you're a female, what we'd like you to respond to is, what are some of those characteristics that defines a man for you in
Hmm.
2023?
That's a big thing. What defined? Because you can have a whole different type of explanations to that. Because I mean, every female is different. But there's two things I promise you'll see in there. In
Tell me.
everybody and every female who say something. The
Yeah.
whole thing about being a leader is gonna have to be in there. And the whole thing about support, because a lot of men, the support system is not there, and that's when stuff go downhill because you're
Mm-hmm.
focused on I'm the leader, I pay the overhead, so everything should be okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I
Mm-hmm.
know those two things would be in most
Yeah.
comments, because that's what people always say. All right, Dad, read
Yeah.
that one from Facebook there. I think we have another comment.
Says here, and we have a comment here from one of our female live who says here, someone who is present and a support system, working as a team. Now, if you're watching this recording, whether you're live or you're watching it later, if you're a female, we want you to respond to this question, which is, what are some of the special characteristics that defines a man for you? If you're a male, you're responding to this question. What does it mean to you to be a man in 2023? So whether you're watching us live right now on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitch, Instagram, or you're going to watch this pre-recorded, we still value your feedback.
Oh,
So you
definitely.
can add it later. Yes? And we one thing we can say to you is all your comments, we'll go back and look at them, and we will definitely take note. And if you need to connect with us, then connect with us, because that's what we're here for.
Working as a team. I'm gonna touch on that.
Go ahead, man.
Working as a team. Well, again, working as a team could be both. It can be played two sides, because again, we are men. We're not supposed to depend on, which I think is stupid. It's a stupid theory that generation and expectations put in our mind.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think once you're a man and you get involved with someone else, and now you share one thing, and now you become one. Now that's a team. One person doesn't make, one person don't make a team. Two people have to make a team. So working as a team, yes, but what does that look like?
What does that look like to you as a millennial, Anando? Because I'm putting you on the spot.
The thing is, millennials don't really care about a team thing.
Okay.
We don't. Yeah, we just think that everybody is, like you have relationships that couples are competing with each other for no. I just think it's the dumbest thing. I have seen it, and I'm like, for what reason? So millennials, we and that's why in our world we don't even stay married long, and it's the honest truth. Because nobody's willing to slow down and work as a team. So if you're gonna put a millennial in spot and you want me to talk straight, I must tell you raw ball. We don't really, as some people say, we don't have time for the bullshit.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Where on the other hand, you guys are more patient and slow and work through things. So my grandparents were married for close to 50 years.
Ooh.
There's a lot. Where are you gonna see that now with millennials? Some of us, yeah, maybe we're fighting hard to even hold on to 10.
Yes.
Much as 50. So because nobody wants to work as a team. Yeah, we all support each other, but it's like a downgrade. Either your partner will support you, but she's downgrading you. She's letting her friends know that, yeah, I'm doing this for him, and that kind of downgrade a man. You can't really do that. So what would it leave us to do? All right, cool. We stay shouted and stay sheltered and just don't say anything.
Thank you for sharing that. And you heard from a millennial as it relates to the idea of team. And Nando was responding to a question, or a comment rather, that was made to the question that we posed, where we asked, as a female, what are some of the special characteristics that for you defines a man, in 2023? If you're joining us live on Facebook, we thank you for being here. If you're on Twitch or LinkedIn, we thank you for being here. If you're a male, we are looking at the question, what does it mean to you to be a man in 2023? We would love you to type something in the chat. If you're joining us live on Instagram, thank you for being a part of the conversation. And we also would like to hear from you as well. Your thoughts. What does it mean to you to be a man in 2023? And so
I want to answer this one comment here before you shoot. It says, do you think some of this comes with age and experience? I can say something there, and then you can say something towards it too, because again, it's two different generations here, which is kind of make this this podcast a bit more interesting, because I want to hear it from my younger people too, like what's going on, and I can hear your views, and I'm sure people your age will chime in and stuff. But back then there were more dads in homes than now.
Mm.
You know, more men who pretty much they're not perfect, but they're doing a lot of stuff. So sons, or you know, we grow up and see, okay, dad used to do that, so when I get my wife or my girlfriend, I'm gonna do that. You know, I don't think it goes with experience. You still have good homes where they're good fathers. Don't get me wrong. So you know, keep your fingers crossed. That will keep a generation going in that family line and make sure everything goes good. But nowadays, there's barely any fathers in the homes, so there's nothing to really experience. You know, so
Mm.
just to answer a little bit of do you think some of this comes with age and experience? Nah, I don't think so.
Mm.
It all
Mm.
comes from where it started, or from last week. Who taught you how to be a man?
Yeah.
Or what you just said, was it your mom, your aunt, your uncle, your cousin outside who beat his baby mama every week,
Mm-hmm.
or have 4, 5, 6 baby mama? Like who?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't
Mm-hmm.
think it has nothing to do with age and experience.
Mm-hmm. Now, I would be doing great injustice to this question, Nano, if I didn't also mention this. So for me, I was born and raised in Jamaica.
Right.
Okay. And I grew up in a community where being a man means you have to be a part of the crew, right? There are certain things that you are just expected to do as a man back then. And one of these evenings, as Nana said to you, I share with you guys my story. Okay, because even though Nando is my son, he doesn't know some of my story. So it's going to be a first time for him to hear some of my story. But I'm going to share my story here live on the podcast. So you guys look out for that and make sure you join in the conversation so that we can all, have that experience as we walk through it together. But whether we are willing to accept it or not, or admit it or not, based on the question that was asked by our viewer live on Facebook, it some of it comes with age for sure, and experience, but not all of it, because there are a lot of uh, more experienced men out there now who they're struggling to keep their relationships. They are struggling to maintain good connections with their kids, with their partners. They're struggling with so many different issues that are personal, that they were not taking the time to really get um, down to saying, hey, this thing is killing my relationship, or it's destroying me from the inside out. So I've got to do something different. So if you were to really look at it, some of it, yes, experience, but then there are persons who are older or more experienced, and they still have not gotten it.
That's true. That's
They're
true.
still trying to get it.
Mm-hmm. That's why I said it doesn't matter about age or experience. You know, I don't think it has nothing to do with that. I just disagree, because it all goes by who teach you, who you saw. You know, who are you trying to be a sponge from? Like who are you absorbing all
Mm-hmm.
this growth and experience from?
Yeah, and one of the things that we encourage is remembering that personal development is not an event;
Facts.
it's a lifestyle.
Right.
So whatever it is, whatever the meaning is to you to be a man in 2023, you should not be resistant to asking yourself, could there be more?
Right.
you know you know and if there's more, what is it? Not being fearful, not staying stuck, not resisting the possibility of change, and you know adaptability as we engage in that process, because what it meant to be a man in 2022 might not be the same experience or the same thing this year.
Hmm.
We have put ourselves in a place where we understand that growth is always necessary.
Right, right. Because you never stop. That's the thing. You probably do a little work and you're like, all right, I'm good now. Huh.
Yeah.
That's when you should actually start, like really implementing those growth and trying to, you have to always change your plan based on how time and the world is going. If you have the plan that you have in 2010, if you have that same plan now, I'm so sorry for you.
And there's so many different pieces to our conversation tonight. And as I say, if you join us live on Instagram or Twitch or LinkedIn or Facebook, we really value your feedback. So please don't feel timid. Don't be shy.
Nah, don't be shy. We're home. It's not like we're in this. No, we're all chilling. We're all here to learn. We're all here to have fun while learning and share some
Yes.
growth.
This is a very relaxed environment. If you're joining us live on Facebook, welcome. If you're just coming in, we're talking about what does it mean to you to be a man in 2023, and for our female, those who are joining us who are females, we would like you to even address this question, which is, what are some of the special characteristics that for you defines a man?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So as we continue our conversation, we want to really take the time to do some more reflection on this topic itself, because here are some other things that we can't ignore. There are several men now who they're up against so many different issues in their lives.
Correct.
All right. And we mentioned earlier, for example, the feminist movement. That's a big thing where a lot of men, they feel sort of beat down sometimes. They feel discouraged. They feel like, I can never get it right. When we talk about, there are a lot of men who they are being really pressed down hard by the judicial system.
Correct.
They can't see their kids. They went through a divorce. They are probably hanging out in a buddy's basement somewhere, and they're paying thousands of dollars for alimony each month, and they're angry, and they're feeling discouraged about life, and they're working but they're not quite sure why, and they're just in that space. And for you, being a man and your definition of being a man in 2023 may look so much different. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
Can a woman destroy a real man?
No, you're using that term again, real man.
Can a woman destroy a man that is? I mean, I get it. So you have men who are really good, they have good standards, and they literally are afraid to, share that side of them with someone else because they're afraid to be broken.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's trying to protect their heart at the end of the day. So I'm just saying, like, is it possible for a woman to change a man who had a straight path and had like a plan?
Now, in response to that question, Andrew, here's what I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Every man has a responsibility to himself first.
Okay.
You went through an experience. It's painful. Okay, and sometimes life is challenging.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt about it. John Maxwell said that for those of us who have the perception that life is a consistent, unending straight line, we have the wrong idea. Life is a roller coaster. And sometimes as men, we experience heart-wrenching events. And because of that, it impacts us to the point where we lose our identity, we lose our drive, we lose our determination. We no longer feel encouraged or empowered to continue. So we turn to drinking, we turn to alcohol, we turn to pornography, we live our lives in a place of consistent anger.
Right.
And what's missing is, as men, we have got to develop the mental fortitude where we're able to permit ourselves to heal from that pain that was caused. So you ask, can a woman destroy a man? The relational aspect of that, it sometimes comes, hey, you know what, because I was so committed and invested in this relationship, the disappointment that came with that makes the man feel like, yes, this woman destroyed me. But then it's understanding that, hey, I made some decisions after I hit that roadblock, that it's up to me to
Right.
come back
Right.
from out that place that I built. So yes, the experience was heart wrenching. You got discouraged.
Agreeing with you here on
Yeah,
my Facebook over here, and I'm like, okay, they're saying now, if you're, as you said, that can't happen if you're
yeah.
understand that.
And don't get me wrong. If a man is in a relationship, he is going to hurt, and you are going to feel disappointed, and you're going to feel discouraged, and you're going to feel like the world is against you, and you're going to feel resentment towards your partner, and you're going to feel like, hey, you know what, she messed up my life. I trusted her, I confided in her. Now look where I'm at.
Right.
But the piece behind it is the mental fortitude is what is going to allow him to say to himself, after I would have felt this pain, I would have experienced disappointment, I would have hit rock bottom, I've got to recognize now that I have responsibility to myself to start reigniting that drive, that natural ability to come back, to ignite hope in my being, so I can start walking again. I can start believing in myself again. I can heal. I can recover. I can become consistent again with the way I'm living my life, because all of us are going to hit roadblocks. Life itself is challenging, but we've got to remember that we also have a part to play in our recovery and our growth and the way we bounce back from those events.
I don't even. Okay. I mean, at this point, I even take note. I took notes from that. But as my viewer on Facebook was saying, couldn't say it better. Because you're right. I
Yeah.
mean, you're right. That's your opinion, and people are gonna agree to disagree with your opinion. But I mean, so far, you're right. So I got my question answered, because that was my question.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good.
Nana, one of the things is this, is that as men, we've got to understand this, that we can stick around and continue to blame everybody else around us
Or
for the state that we're in.
right.
But everybody around us is not responsible for the choices that we make after the event takes place. We are responsible.
Some people don't think that. Some people think it's society.
So yes, the woman messed you up, or your boss messed you up, or your family messed you up, your siblings, okay, and you're hurting, and you have a right to hurt because, hey, you feel that.
Right.
I'm not minimizing that. But you also have a right to heal. No, that's not their responsibility. That's your responsibility.
Yeah.
So you have got to take ownership of your journey towards recovery. So if you're drinking alcohol consistently, if you all of a sudden you became a womanizer, if all of a sudden you're spending hours in front of the screen, becoming addicted to porn, if you are, spending money, if you're going out every night drinking, if you're staying alone at home in your room and doing drugs and messing your life up, that's no longer the woman's responsibility. She's not doing that to you now. You're doing that to yourself. So you have got to take ownership of your recovery.
And stop trying to
so that you can heal. So being a man in 2023 means that you've got to become more intentional and take ownership of what you need to do to recover and move out of this comfort zone that you've created because hey, I'm hurting, she betrayed me, he betrayed me, so now I have a right to stay here and pay the victim for the rest of my life. No, that's not true.
Listen, guys, take back what's rightfully yours and say no. As you hear, my dad just said, you gotta put that in your mind. Take it back. It's not nobody's fault no more.
Yeah.
That's why I always say to my friends, why they locking up people for buying drugs? Like, it's not nobody's fault. Go ahead. You're doing it to yourself. If you can take it back. And people will say, oh, because it's not that easy. I get it. It's not that easy. As you just said, it's not a one-day thing.
No.
You take your time. Trust the process.
Yeah.
Right? Trust the process.
Yeah. Sometimes what happens to us as men is we have what I call this fast food mentality. We want things to change, but we want to treat it like a fast food thing where, we go in the drive-thru, we order at one window, we pick it up at the next, job done. No, it's not like that. We have got to be willing to get down to the nitty-gritty and do the work and challenge ourselves to do the work. And that's why here in XY Spark, we promote that holistic healthy masculinity where we teach men how to take back control of their lives and heal from the pain of your past so you can get your spark back. And that's the ideal goal. Building that mental fortitude where you recognize that I can bounce back, I can heal, I can recover, I can grow. Yes? And that's what we've got to be passionate about. Thank you for those who are joining us. Wherever you're joining us, if you're live on Instagram, we see you, we appreciate you. Our viewers on Twitch, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, we appreciate you. And our discussion this evening, if you're just joining us, is what does it mean to you to be a man in 2023? And if you're joining us and you're a female, the question that I want you to contemplate and like you to comment on is, what are some of those special characteristics for you that defines a man in 2023? So we have a question for you, wherever you are, whoever you are, and we'd like you to also just type in the chat, where are you joining us from? Where are you located? Are you in Canada? Are you in the United States? I know sometimes we have viewers, Nando, who join our podcast from Germany. We saw someone down in Germany. We saw someone over there in the UK. We appreciate our UK listeners to the XY Spark podcast. And we continue to remind you guys that we are here every Wednesday evening at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please come on in, share your thoughts, share your comments, tell somebody to come. Let's sit around, the Pathanon and have conversations that help
for
empower.
A nice little hour. It's not that long.
Yeah. So, Nando, do you have any other thing that you'd like to say about this topic that we're having here tonight?
It's a very wide-based topic. We give our opinions and our views. And that's the good thing about our podcast here at XY Spark. All of these here are recordings that you can go back and look at, and even if you want to come back next week and share something that you guys picked up from our podcast this week or the week before, that's fine. Everything is continuous. Our main topic this year is what does it mean to be a man in 2023. Today is just a break off from that where it says what does it mean to you to be a man in 2023. Next week, we'll have another spicy topic. We'll definitely be getting into some stuff because we were supposed to touch on you know, you know, who grew you as a man, like as a, you know, we're supposed to touch on stuff like that. And I know our viewers are gonna be kind of asking, hey, what happened? We remember, but this topic, as I said, is very wide and it's very fun to talk about because at the end of all of this, I want to be a better man. You know,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
I know you want to be a better man too.
Every
So
day,
we all
man.
are
Every
here
day.
for it.
Every day. And that's why I said to you, my mantra, personal development is not an event.
Exactly.
It's a lifestyle. And
Lifestyle.
every day, we've got to challenge ourselves as men to step up to the bar. Step up to the bar and do that which you need to do. That's going to help you to heal and to recover.
Step up to the bar. That's I like that. We're gonna keep it spicy and end it this week with that. Step up to the bar, man.
Yes. Guys, we appreciate you.
Definitely.
Thank you for joining us here. You know, this is Rolando and
Rolando Jr. It's both Rolando, so listen. You can't
okay.
miss.
Guys, listen, man, don't miss this father and son duo. We're here to have and facilitate lively conversations, and it will not be the same without you. So
Right.
to our viewers on Twitch, hey, shout out to you. To those on LinkedIn, we appreciate you. Our live Instagram viewers, you know, we value your presence here. And of course, all those on Facebook, you know, the love is consistent.
Definitely, Facebook, definitely. Yeah.
So any closing thoughts, Nando?
Closing thoughts. Own your own, man. We gotta try and get back a reel on this thing and be better examples for a future generation of men to come, because there has to be a line where we say, okay, listen, we're tired of seeing our black men, white men, whatever race you are, getting killed or some. You know, it doesn't even matter about race at this point. You know, black, white, pink, yellow, brown, whatever you are, we just have to stand up. So I'm here for it. I'm ready to. When we're doing the march for XY Sparks, I'm ready to make sure we're all there as powerful men to go. So thank you guys, thank you viewers. Definitely each and every week, as Dad said, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, wherever you are. We need to get a time for England and everywhere else, because now we have in German and England. We got to make sure we get everyone.
Yes, absolutely. Guys, listen, keep safe. We'll see you next week. Take care.
Thank you. Take care.
This is XY Spark, restoring holistic, healthy masculinity.